workshop today. My name is Phoebe Acevedo, and I just want to thank you all for joining us today for our coffee talk here at the Guild Museum of Arcadia Heritage. I would like to welcome some of our special guests that are joining us today.
I might just talk really loud because I can. I would like to just introduce and welcome some people who are joining us today. We have past and present council members and mayors here joining us today for our coffee talk. We have Mr. Harvick, Mr. Shote, Ms. Ava Rolado, and Mr. Michael Danielson. I would also like to welcome Arcadia Chinese Association President Connie Lau for joining us today as well. So today for our presentation, we are going to be having Mr. Edward Wong, Dr. Edward Wong, a co-founding member of the Arcadia Chinese Association, presenting on the history of the Arcadia Chinese Association from past to present. At this event, it is being sponsored by the Friends of the Arcadia Museum, so I would like to thank them for doing this for us today. And I would like to invite Ms. Marilyn DeLeo to come and present the Friends Board.
Thank you, Stevie. It's an honor.
Let's try. Welcome, everyone. I'm Marilyn DeLeo. Oh, guess not.
Treasurer of the Friends of the Arcadia Museum, lovingly known as FAM. And our job is to support, promote, and be here for the museum and occasionally pass on some funds. And it's all done with the help of a great FAM board and some of the members here today. I'd like them to stand. Jan Shimon, Robin Green, Julie Cone. Our president, Joyce Platt, could not be here today. Her husband is coming home from the hospital today following surgery, so she's with us in thought. We look forward to having Dr. Wong tell us all about his wonderful group. And again, we thank you for coming, and we look forward to seeing you again at future museum activities. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this coffee talk. Okay. Let me give it a last try now. Okay, so today's talk is about Arcadia Chinese Association. We call it ACA. And it's about what the organization is and what does it do. I'll just speak loud. I want to thank friends. I want to thank Friends of Arcadia Museum and all the board of directors for this coffee talk and for inviting me to come and talk about ACA and give me an opportunity to introduce ACA. Okay, my name is Edward Wong. I'm currently the ACA director and also the presidential counsel, giving advice to the president as needed. And I was the ACA president in the 2010. I wonder if you guys at the back, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the ACA mission is a service organization comprised entirely of volunteers. So we're all volunteers devoting our time and our effort to the association. And today, ACA is a very important year. It's our 40th year. It was founded in 1982, and so it's the 40th anniversary. So we're very proud that ACA has lasted for a very good 40 years. We have lots of mission objectives, and I'm going to just go through it. Okay, it promotes our community spirit and unity, and maximize the harmony and for the benefits of an ethnically diverse Arcadia community. It promotes the learning of Chinese culture, history, language, literature, and arts. And we see this very important is we bridge the cultural differences within the Arcadia community. It's working? Yes. Okay, good. I don't have to shout. Support education is pretty big for the ACA. We always see education as a high priority. And the charitable events in Arcadia, it promotes volunteerism in the community services and assists the new immigrants to understand American traditions, citizenship, and community values. Again, this is also a very important objective. It helps immigrants to properly integrate into the Arcadia community. But there are lots of words, and I just want to summarize our mission objectives in these keywords. Okay. This is the takeaway for our objectives of our mission is harmony, education, bridge cultural differences, and volunteerism. Harmony is the way that we should work together. We recognize that different organizations, different people from different ethnic backgrounds, we're all different. And among all these differences, we want to work together to develop mutual trust and so to keep the community in harmony. Education, we support the high school, we support the Chinese Booster Club. In the high school, we support the Arcadia Education Foundation, the library, the summer reading program, and we give scholarships to the qualified, excellent Arcadia high school students. Bridge cultural differences. We make a lot of effort to make sure that people from different ethnic backgrounds join and participate into other groups' activity. So we learn from each other, and we learn how we can all understand each other, different culture, people from different backgrounds. Usually sometimes they think differently, they appreciate things differently, and we want to make sure that we all understand each other. Volunteerism is a very big for ACA. We encourage the immigrants to come. We teach them the spirit of volunteerism and ask them to volunteer. We have a volunteer bank. Okay, we have the list of volunteers to help us. We have a list of the friends of ACA that can come and help us whenever we need help from volunteers. A history of ACA was established in 1982. At that time, the population of the ethnic Chinese was much lower than today. And talked to our first president, Dr. Sheng Chang. He's still here in Arcadia. And he told me that at that time, 1982, there were about 50 Chinese families. 50. Imagine that, okay? 50 Chinese families. And but he has the hindsight and the inspiration of establishing an organization called ACA. And they have activities in a much smaller scale. I know that they celebrate Chinese the Lunar New Year, and occasionally they get together for the Moon Festival. But it's not too much activities. But the important thing is that there's a foundation that's been established between this organization and the community, the city council members, the community leaders, and we really have to thank our first president, Sean Chang. So in 1994, ACA was registered as a non-profit organization, and it started electing its presidents and officers, and gradually the membership has been increasing. We have City Council member Gary Kovacic joined ACA as a lifetime member, and this is important because it's not just limited to Chinese or Chinese immigrants. We really open up to the whole community. Okay. 1996, it has its first yearbook, and the yearbook is a very good record of what the association is doing, all the activities. In fact, Alice brought in quite a few of the yearbooks there on the table for you to look at. So we have published yearbook every year, okay, since 1996. We have the latest yearbook outside when you leave. You're free to take a copy of it with you. 2007, ACA became a 501c3 charity public benefit organization. And the main thing is that it helps the donors to have some tax benefit when they donate to ACA organization. But we have to abolish its membership system because of that. So we have no members who were not allowed to collect membership dues. But we maintain our board of directors and officers, update our organization bylaws, and all those mission objectives are documented in our bylaws. We open up to all the people. So it's an important message here that Arcadia Chinese Association is not limited to just Chinese, all right? It's open up to non-Chinese speaking people, whoever has the heart to help the community, okay? And to achieve, of course, the ACA mission objectives. So we do have non-Chinese members in our board of directors. In fact, in 1 year, Aaron Rose was the president of ACA. Yes.
Is it only for Arcadia residents?
No. Okay, good point. Yeah, okay, it's not for this. It's not limited to people who are residents in. Thank you. Yeah, it's not limited to residents in Arcadia. In fact, you're welcome to join us, and if you're really interested in coming here and help out with all the activities, you can live in Temple City, you can live in Monte, Monrovia. In fact, we have currently people living in Covina and one in Rancho Cucamonga also. Of course, the distance is maybe a little bit of a limitation, but yeah, we do not preclude anybody. It doesn't have to be in Arcadia. So throughout the years, we organize and support about 20-25 activities. Frankly, when I joined ACA in 2006, I did not realize that ACA was so active, frankly. And also, if you have questions anytime, okay, please bring it up. It should be very casual. Regular events, we do this almost every year, but not necessarily every items, but we have officer installation, get to know you event. We have an annual fundraising gala. This is where we get the funds for support our activities throughout the year. We organize Moon festivals and co-sponsor with the city or the city arboretum. We have Halloween candy drive every year. We give Thanksgiving appreciation luncheon to the police and fire department. And then in the Lunar New Year, we have a celebration as well as having a senior citizen luncheon in the community center, co-sponsored with the city of Arcadia. We give appreciation to city employees, some small gift every year to all the city employees. We organize a law day. It's like a big signature event here, and we co-sponsor with the city of Arcadia. Give free consultations to people who come to our law day. We give scholarship to the high school students, and when is the appropriate right year, we organize a city council candidate forum. On occasion, we do see mixers. So these are kind of like regular events. And so some other events is as needed, but not how regularly, is of course during the pandemic, we donate the PPEs to the local hospitals, firefighters, and police department. We organize seminars online, law, medical, and then the California election propositions. In 2020, there were 12 California propositions, and we have a virtual explanation, go through all those propositions to help the residents to understand, okay, what's contained in those propositions. Because sometimes pretty tricky, right? When you vote no, that means yes, right? To be very careful. Mother's Day celebration, sometimes we do that. It's a very welcome event. Business salon, and we have the Lunar New Year's Spring Festival in the Santa Anita Mall, and many years ago. It's a partial list. ACA has a lot of interaction with the local community organizations. We have worked with the public library, helped the summer reading program, of course the Historic Museum Foundation, we support it. We support Arcadia Educational Foundation, scholarships to students, Chinese Parents Booster Club, Methodist Hospital. We attended the Crystal Ball. If we don't attend, we give donation to the hospital. We support the Relay for Life for American Cancer Society. We support the Performing Arts Center. A number of our directors are also members or directors in that Performing Arts Center. We support Assistant League of Arcadia, Foothill Unity Center, White Christmas, Mayor's Breakfast, and the Chamber of Commerce. We go there every year for a Taste of Arcadia, Arcadia Association of University Women, Boy Scouts. Again, it's just a partial list. Now, I mentioned the yearbooks. So this is the first yearbook that we published in 1996. And every year we have the yearbook, and this is just the last 3 issues. And every time with the yearbook, we have a theme. So, like in the year 2020, because of pandemic, we have caring, compassion, and solidarity. And a very unique picture. Everybody has a mask on. Okay, so it's 2021. This is yearbook. You're free to take when you leave. So, I want to introduce some of our events. Okay, and I understand pictures is worth 1,000 words, so I just go through the events so you can appreciate what we're doing here. And so this is the every year when it start, our term starts in usually in July, but we change it to June now. So it's June. It's June to end of May. Okay, this is our term. So every year when we start the term, we usually have a installation, and we invite the mayor to come and install the new officers. So I think this is the year 2010, and it was in the room next to the golf course. I don't understand why everybody is so formal. We didn't announce that it had to be formal, but somehow everybody converged with nice suits. But there was a very happy event, and we usually invite the past presidents to come. Now, this is another one about 3 years later, and it's pretty casual. Okay, everybody has a good smile. Now, you see everyone is wearing apron, right? So the message here is that you have a big heart. Your heart is for the community service, and the apron is just tell you that roll up your sleeves and get to work. Serve the community. Right? Now, then around September timeframe is usually our Mid-Autumn Festival, we call it Moon Festival. And this one was held in the Arboretum. And the turnout was great that year. It was about 1,500 participants come in. Because the Arboretum, they sell tickets for us. So they do have the record. And we co-sponsored with the Arboretum. So ACA organized all the activities, the performance, and of course with the the dance and all that. It was I got a lot of good feedback from people who went there. This is Chang'e. I mean, this is a Chinese legend. It says that Chang'e she was prosecuted by the emperor, and so she was fed up with it, and so she and her rabbit ascended to the moon. All right. So we went to the moon several times, and we couldn't find her. But it doesn't mean that she's not there, right? You can't find her, doesn't mean she's not there. She's probably hiding. So, and I think it seems like a good option for us that if you're fed up with the wars and terrorism and the climate change on Earth, you always can go out, pack your bag, bring your dog, bring your pet, and go to the moon. Just bring your own water and oxygen. So at the end of October, there's Halloween, and every year we organize this. We pass out nice candies, and this is the place where we have in the Santa Anita Mall, but we sometimes also do it on the First Street and other places. But so this one, you see, look at the line. I mean, this long line. I mean, we're so pretty sure all the kids like it. I think besides we pass out really high quality candies, we also pass out fortune cookies. That may be the reason. Annual fundraising. So after Halloween, we do the annual fundraising, and this is a signature event for us. This is important because we put in a lot of good shows and performances, and this is also the time we get the sponsors to donate to ACA. It usually happens in November or December, occasionally in January, but usually it's around November and December. And this is the year 2010. And we had a nice gala with the theme was the Halloween. So we put in a Halloween party actually for the gala. So everybody was having a lot of fun with costumes, except a few. I think Bob was here. Bob, thank you for attending. Peter Amos, the second one from the right. I mean, he's pretty formal, but I have to give him credit because his tie has the pumpkins on it. But the one on the furthest right, I know he's a Dodger fan, but somehow it's, maybe he just tried to go to Dodger Stadium but get lost. And he just came here and took a picture with us. But no, this is Gary Kovzak. He's a staunch supporter for ACA all these years. You remember he's a lifetime member? Yeah, so he's really support us. Another gala, a different year. You see the ACA 30, that's our 30th anniversary, and we have a nice big cake for ourselves. And we usually have this in community center for the gala, but occasionally we do it on the Doubletree Inn in Monrovia, and sometimes in the Masonic Lodge. So we have a good turnout all the time. We're about between 26 to 30 tables. So that means about 260 to about 300 people coming and support us. And we put in our best shows. Okay, we have, remember, we have 1 year we have the change face. Okay, and then we also 1 year we invited like a national class singer from China who visited U.S. and we invited him to come here. We played Chinese instruments, and you see the drums there, right, on the left on the stage. We play the drums. And we have a magician. And notice that we like to take a picture from the backside of the magician, just to make sure that he's not putting anything behind. So after the gala on Thanksgiving, and again this is our tradition, every year as far as I remember, okay, we give a Thanksgiving luncheon to the fire department and the police department. And so we get food from, say, Mimi's Cafe and some other places. Make sure we have very nice, good turkey, ham, and sweet potato and all the other foods for them. And they told me they're really looking forward to that. And this is for the police department. And we also want to make sure, because every time we went there, there's always about 1/3 of the firemen and the policemen out in the field. So we make sure that when they come back, there's food left for them. Then after the Thanksgiving, now comes the Lunar New Year. And sometimes we perform. I think in the past we performed, not anymore for the last 2 years, but we perform in the Santa Anita Mall. And here's Joanna now. I think she was the president there. And we have a lion dance. Okay, so the purpose of a New Year is make sure it's noisy, make sure it's a lot of joyful events. And this is also a chance for us to, I think 1 year put in a costume show. And so we have costumes for the, it's nice to be, for a short while, to be able to enjoy that you pretend you're an emperor. So we have costumes from the Qing Dynasty, the Mongol, there's the from Mongolian, Song Dynasty, maybe the Han Dynasty. I think everybody just hop onto the time machine and come here, and for a couple of hours we enjoy having fun together. So then goes to the real Chinese New Year, which is around February, and early February. Then we put in a senior citizen luncheon. Usually it's a community center, and it's a joint sponsorship with the city. So the city sells tickets for us, but again, ACA is responsible for food. When it comes to food, you always think about ACA for some reason. We're responsible for food and the programs and the performance. So again, we put in. There's a lot of the participants. I think the seniors they're really looking forward to it, because every year is a sold out activity. It's not only is a sold out activity, it's sold out in less than 2 weeks. Okay, so they really everybody's come to enjoy. We have folk dance. Again, we have the various performance of the Chinese instruments. And then we also have an exciting time where we pass out the red packets, because it's a tradition for the Chinese New Year. And notice the guy in the middle, this guy, stand out, right? Yeah, he's our fortune god. This is a Chinese legend that we have a fortune god. And he's a real VIP. Because if a fortune god coming and knock at your door, that year you got it made. I mean, you're in business, you'll be prosperous. Okay, so be really nice to this guy. And in February, we appreciate city employees. Oh, look at Bob. Bob was here. He was the mayor. So we give gift cards. Usually it's like a coupon discount when you go to Matt Denny's, or some gift cards to go to Mimi's Cafe, some Chinese restaurants. Every year it varies a little bit, but that's a token of appreciation from ACA to the city employees. So Joanna was passing out a big box of gift cards. And this is in the city hall. So Law Day is usually in the end of April and the beginning of May. Again, this is another big signature event for ACA, and we co-sponsor with the city. Of course, unfortunately, in the pandemic years, we don't have it, but we do hold out. I think Susan here, she organized a virtual law seminar. So this is one that involved a lot of participation from, I think, everybody on the board of ACA, as well as people from our list of volunteers. We want them to come because every year there are about over 200 people from Arcadia, and it can come from elsewhere too. If they heard about it, from St. Gabriel, Temple City. Some came as far as from Long Beach to come here and have a 20 minutes of free legal consultation, okay, from a volunteer lawyers. Now, Gary Kovacic is the key person. I think he actually started this whole Law Day concept, and he and the guy next to him, Bob Garrett, he's also this day. I think April is there too.
I'm there. My daughter is there too. My daughter with Emily.
You know, there's so many lawyers in our city. But okay, so Gary has an important job to do, because every year he has to invite and got accepted at least over 30 lawyers, okay, who are volunteers to come, okay, to the Law Day, and he has to kind of divide into about a dozen specialties. So it could be real estate law, it could be immigration, landlord, business laws, divorce, and all these various specialties. And people are lining up on a first-come, first-served basis. When they come here, they have an application form. They put in the form and put on the question, okay? And it's first-come, first-served, all right? So there are people, it usually starts at 10 to 1, I think. And it's so busy for the 3 hours. But people come here as early as 8. They line up to get the form, they want to get in early. To get the 20 minutes free consultation. Right? So it's in the Arcadia Library, usually. And we like to take a picture of all the volunteers. Okay. And Mickey Siegel was there because sometimes there were legal questions, there are financial questions. So Mickey Siegel was there to answer that. And then this is how it's being, how the operation is, with various tables. The number there on the table, the 5, 6, 7, those are the specialty groups. So if you're 5, you're like landlord, immigration. It's interesting that every year we make a statistics, okay, of what kind of questions, what area, okay, is the most popular, because you don't know. When you get the lawyers to come, the 30 of them, you kind of equally divided among the specialties, right? But one year, I think there are a lot of questions on bankruptcy. And to the point that you really have to scramble and get other lawyers to come and say, hey, can you do some, can you take care of some bankruptcy questions? So you kind of know, what are the emphasis, what are the priorities. Okay, then usually in the spring, when you have the election, and it's only for the year when you have the elections that now Arcadia Chinese, I think it's really for the purpose of helping the residents, okay, to get to know the candidate. Now, ACA is not political. We don't stand for any candidates at all, but we facilitate the understanding of their political position, their policy, and we invite all of them to come. And this is in the community center. We invite a lot of residents to come and ask questions. And so I think this is the year when Gary John will even show. Okay, show was here. That was many years ago. And then this is another one, more recent, about, 6-7 years ago. You see April here. And this is Dr. Chang, our founder, in the middle here. Peter Emerson. So this, we see that as important for the Arcadia Chinese Association to have such a event to facilitate the understanding between the voters and the candidates. All right, so we have an event on the rehabilitation of the Fort Rotary Boy Scout Camp Trust. It's an effort led by Arcadia Rotary Club, and Bob Hubbard, he's the primary. He led this important event for the Rotary Club. And that year, our gala, we know thousands of Boy Scout camps use that facility, and it really needs renovation. So one year, we devoted the fundraising gala to raise fund for this rehabilitation. And I have to thank Jamie, yeah, she's leading this effort. So we were able to collect $35,000 and donate it to this fund. Okay. By the way, Jamie is also our, can you stand up? Jamie is our next president. I also want to acknowledge our current president, Connie. Connie is here. We have a co-president, Diana Chang. She's not here, right? She's not here. Connie really did a great job. You'll see later that among the pandemic, okay, it didn't stop us. All right. So, okay. This is for the high school scholarship. Every year, as far as I remember, we give scholarships to high school students, and sometimes 4. Now we're up to 6 students, and here's Jamie and Connie. So we rate, and this year Tao is our chair. Tao, yeah, okay. So we select the student who qualified to get this scholarship award, not just based on their GPA. Okay, GPA is a part of it, but just a small part of it. We really base on their volunteering experience. We base on what they think about about the community, what is their heart in terms of serving other people. You can tell from the leadership position. So we base a very broad-based criteria, okay, to award this scholarship. I think, of course, academic is an important thing, but it's not it's just a part of it. We did Asian Business Night. We haven't done it lately, but there was, I think this is in the year, I think it's 2012. The purpose of this Asian Business Night, actually we co-sponsored with the Chamber of Commerce. Scott Patrick was the CEO there. We, the main purpose is to get the Chinese business people to come here, mingle with each other, learn from each other. We have, at that event, we have, I think, a good 150 people coming. But the main reason is also to introduce the Arcadia Chamber of Commerce to the Chinese businessmen, tell them that they would be benefited from joining the Arcadia Chamber of Commerce. So that was the main purpose, and Judy Chu, Congressman, was here supporting us. Just a side step, just a little comment about Judy, that at least from that experience. We had that event till about 8 something, almost 9 o'clock, and Judy called us, and his flight from Washington back to Los Angeles was late. So we didn't expect that she'll be coming. So, but then close to about maybe 15 minutes before 9 or something, we get a call from her assistants saying that she has already arrived in LAX. She asked us, has the event finished? I said, no, we haven't quite finished yet. He said, okay, don't finish because Judy is on her way, okay? So she really came about around 9 o'clock. And she could have said, I'm so tired, the flight is late, she doesn't have to come. But she came, and gave a good long speech supporting the Chamber of Commerce and the Arcadia Chinese Association. She recognized the importance of this. So I really have to give her great credit, for her support. And she's been supporting us throughout the years. We have the Mother of the Year event. We selected the mother, the one on the second from the right. So every year we pick a mother, but it's also a very welcoming event. We didn't do it every year, but every time we did it, and the turnout was also great. About 200 people, and it was lots of fun. We support the Cancer Society Relay for Life, and this is on the Santa Anita racetrack. We have a booth there. We support the mayor's breakfast every time. And then February 2020, the pandemic hit. But again, under the leadership of Connie, we didn't stop. We find different ways to conduct our activities. So we get a lot of support for the local residents to donate the money, and we bought a lot of PPEs. Some of them are hard to come by. Okay, so we really have to scramble to get those PPEs. And this is the donation to the Methodist Hospital. And we also donate to the Huntington Hospital, City of Hope, St. Gabriel Hospital. And this, we donate PPEs to the Arcadia Police Department, as well as to the Fire Department. We also make donations to the retirement homes, Naomi Garden, the low-income retirement center, and also the Arcadia Retirement Villa. We provide lunch. Again, it's about food. We provide lunch to the medical staff. I think this is the community center. They give vaccination to people to come here. So there's a 2-day event. The ACA providing free food for those medical staff. Again, this is to the fire department. Remember that we had a big fire in the Angeles National Forest. So we took the lead, and then we solicit funds, and we donate. I think the guy in the back, he did a great job posting that big check out. He looked very experienced. It's Paul, right? It's Paul. Yeah. Great job. And we conduct virtual activities. Okay, so we have the gala event online. We have the Christmas party online. Again, Paul Chang, I think he's a lawyer himself. He explained the 12 California propositions on the 2020 ballot online. I think that people participate, and then and then we translate some of those into Chinese too. So for the people, for the convenience of some of those who don't, because those language is not that easy to understand, So, and then we have that, and then we have law seminar, going through the different business laws, immigration laws, real estate laws, tax laws. And we conduct medical seminar. We have Dr. Wong Jiang from Methodist Hospital talking about the COVID-19 vaccination. And we have Dr. Yan Yuan from City of Hope on the breast cancer prevention and treatment. So these are all done online. Okay, I think it was pretty popular. People come in and listen to that. Throughout the years, ACA has some rewards from the community. Judy Chu gave us a best non-profit organization of the year in 2013. Westfield also gave us an award for best one of the three, I think, organizations that they recognized in 2010. And then recently, Chamber of Commerce gave us Arcadia Strong Award. And we also have a website. If you go Arcadia Chinese Association, okay, it tells you about our mission objectives, the organization, photo gallery. We also have our yearbooks on that, upcoming events, and we also acknowledge our sponsors there. And this is our board for this year. I want to take this opportunity. We have the board members, we have the directors, we have the advisors. So I want to take this opportunity to ask the directors and board members to just stand up, because we have to acknowledge all your efforts. We have done a lot of time. And again, their reward is their happiness and their satisfaction from helping the community. Okay. This is my last slide, and I just want to emphasize the spirit of volunteerism. And the ACA recognizes that the spirit of volunteerism is a very important Arcadia cultural value, and which new immigrants, okay, like myself, when I first came to this country, I guess it was many, many years ago, I did not recognize too much, I did not understand too much about volunteerism, but I learned a lot. Especially learned a lot from Arcadia by joining the ACA. That this is a valuable virtue of being a volunteer. And there's a chance also to pay back to the community. So we want to continue to fulfill our mission and to continue the Arcadia legacy of being the best place for us to live, to cultivate friendship and raise our children, and to be able to say that our city is the best place to live and best place to raise our children. That is not easy to come by. Not everyone can say that about a city. So I really think that we should not take this city for granted. Okay, we should develop trust, okay, and the friendship. We should make sure we have the harmony within the city. All right. So we need to value our city. We need to treasure our city, and because it's such a nice place. And
Arcadia Chinese Association is grateful and proud to be a part of this community. Okay, thank you. Any questions? Okay, so yeah. Hi, Alice.
I think there's so many important people here. Can we have a 1 minute for every elected officers? 1 minute share with what they feel about Arcadia Chinese Association. Can we start from our mayor still here, our city councilman, our school board? Anybody voluntary say 1 minute?
Put us on the spot, Alice. Okay. You want me to come up there? All right. Thank you. Okay, 1 minute. Who's got the timer going? I just want to say, for us as elected officials, it's so nice to have the Arcadia Chinese Association that does act as that bridge between the two cultures that we have here in Arcadia, and also just all the support we get from Arcadia Chinese Association, not just for us as elected officials, but the support that they give and show to our police department, our fire department, our residents, everything that's going on in the city, you can count on Arcadia Chinese Association to be there. Also, as downtown Arcadia, the other role that I play, I serve on the Downtown Arcadia Improvement Association board, where we do all the events. Like we started doing a patriotic festival with the fireworks, but we can always count on our Arcadia Chinese Association to be there to support our events as well, and that's so important to us because it's such a great reflection of our community and showing that we support one another, and it's really important to me, so thank you.
Mike, want to go? Oh, sure, please.
Sure, where's she going?
Yes.
You're up.
Okay.
Well, welcome. You know, I really like Arcadia Chinese Association because I started with the Chinese parent Pustuka and joined the Arcadia Chinese Association. And so I see Jamie's daughter born and grow up now, so it's been a long time. And because we always like to promote volunteer in Arcadia. And even though we have different cultures, sometimes people don't understand each other. The biggest question I have when I'm running for city council, a lot of people ask me, how come Asians like to build those big houses? Right? You see that already, right? But if you understand why, then you communicate, then you have no problem. Because I always tell people that Asians, they have 3 generations live in one household. They need more bedroom, right? Do you remember 40 years ago how big was your TV? Anybody? 20 inch, 25, that's huge, right? Today you tell people you have 25-inch TV, people laugh at you, right? So, where would you put a 60-inch TV? A tiny house? Of course not, right? So once you explain to people, communicate, everybody get along fine, right? It just matters communication, especially those contractors, developer. I always ask them, you know, all your neighbors see you is building a house, right? Building a big house. Do you ever invite them to the finished project? No. I said, of course, the people hate big house. I hate big house, right? But if you invite them, they say, oh, yeah, actually, this is nice. Then they know each other. That's what Arcadia Chinese Association is doing. Communicate, bring the community together. So when I attend WeChat group, I always tell people, when I invite them, I say, welcome to Arcadia as a big family. So ACA is a big family for everyone here. So thank you for supporting ACA, and thank you for the good job ACA doing.
As the newest member of the Arcadia City Council, it's just a blessing to be here. I have spent most of my career in the Arcadia schools and had the honor of teaching so many students who came in, and I knew that our educational system was starting to kind of melt down because we had these highly qualified teachers, but our community was really dwindling because it was aging up and they didn't have new kids coming in, and then we had this wonderful demographic change. And for us in the school system, that it changed a few of the little things, but it had massive change for our community. Obviously, we had people that were invested in education, and for me personally, they were invested in the arts and music, so that was really helpful to me. But beyond that, just how it really did change the complexion of our community. And I am like the rest of the members of council are so thankful for ACA and the bridge that it's become between the community, the Chinese community, and the existing community. And I hope that we will continue to work together. And I'm just really honored to be able to be here and to share in your history and hopefully be a part of the rest of your history here. So thank you.
And we do have 2 school boards, so can you please come share with us? Oh, come over here.
We're always together. Okay, good morning. I'm Lee Chavez, and I think Fenton too. We are 20+ year residents of Arcadia. And so I have always known ACA as a powerful contributor to our community. So it was really fun to take a look back today and see how it developed. And I think the thing that makes Arcadia special is that so many residents step up and give their time. Volunteerism and taking ownership of our community is what makes Arcadia special. And I'll just speak to education because that's our forte. The support that ACA provides to our school district, it makes a big difference. It makes a really big difference for those kids who get scholarships. And I loved what you said about it is important to have the academic component. You have to excel academically, but it's also about your heart and how you've given back and being excellent in more than one way. And I think you'll probably be able to speak about the arts piece, so I'm gonna pass off, but I just wanted to say, it's been an honor. I've attended some installation events. It's really important, the work that ACA does in our community, and thank you. It was fun to learn about the history.
For those that don't know, Lee Chavez is the current president of the Arcadia Unified School District Board, and I'm the current vice president. My name is Fenton Ang. If you don't know who I am, I've been a resident for over 20 years, as Lee had mentioned. I'd like to thank Dr. Wong for the presentation. I learned a lot. I already knew that Arcadia Chinese Association has done a lot, but I didn't realize how much you touched. And appreciate that. You've done a lot for the school district also, and I really appreciate that. The board appreciates it too. Additionally, I noticed that there's a discussion of 2 cultures here in Arcadia. In many ways, I straddle both. I'm Chinese, and I'm born in America. So I understand both cultures if there are 2 cultures. But to me in Arcadia, there's really one culture. And that's really why we're all here. You know, it's a culture that we've always carried with us, that we care for our families and our community. And that's the common culture that we should really look at. And that's what unifies us, and that's what makes Arcadia great. So I appreciate that ACA has been a major player in fulfilling that culture. Thank you.
just wanted to bring you up. They mentioned the fort, or the Boy Scout camp that is being rehabilitated, and Arcadia Chinese Association. I worked with Jamie, and working with Jamie is trying to keep up with Jamie. Anybody I know. Anyway, she arranged for the ACA to donate $35,000, which is the largest single donation to it. We have a budget of $144,000. And she also put me in touch with Frank Wu, and they've made a matching grant for the last monies that we need. But the fort is almost finished. They mentioned the fires up there. After the fires came the rains, and the Boy Scout camp was hit pretty hard. The swimming pool was filled to the top with mud. The kitchen in the dining hall was filled waist high with mud. That's all been cleared out now. Fortunately, the fort was not harmed by it, but access to the fort was hurt. But anyway, we're within weeks of having this finished. We're working on raising the last funds that we need. But as I said, the ACA was the step forward. They're the largest single donor, and we really appreciate their help.
Anyone else? Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today for our coffee talk with Dr. Edward Wong.
People want to talk. Someone raise their hand.
Who wants to talk?
I just want to thank you, Dr. Wong. He's been our partner all the way through, so thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. It was a great talk, and it is a super fantastic day today. Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, thank you once again for joining us today for our coffee talk here at the Guild Museum of Arcadia Heritage. Thank you, Dr. Edward Wong, for doing this presentation, and thank you for the Arcadia Chinese Association for participating and joining us today as well. And we highly encourage you to enjoy our pastries and our coffee in the back. And once again, if you have never visited the museum, we highly encourage you to do so. In our lobby, we actually have a current Arcadia Chinese Association exhibit, so I highly encourage you to go check it out. So thank you once again, everyone. Have a great day.